Elliot Anderson to Manchester City is a here we go. The deal has been done. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed it. The GOAT himself, Dave Ornstein, has given us the Dave Bomber. We know that this deal is done. And of course, I'm going to basically tell you what Dave Ornstein said, because my goodness, do we have a deal on our hands. It is remarkable for what we are seeing based on what we are getting from the tier 1 reporters. Dave Ornstein says, breaking news, Manchester City strike an agreement with Nottingham Forest to sign Elliot Anderson. Manchester City made 23-year-old Nottingham Forest midfielder primary target to booster this summer, and now deal is done. Subject to the medical, the international is definitely playing at the World Cup, so they have to go do it in that situation. And then Fabrizio Romano comes in with his own bomber, with his own here we go, and says, Elliot Anderson to Manchester situation. Here we go. Deal in place between the clubs after long talks. Manchester City confirms, or sources confirms, agreement now done after talks at final stages as reported last week. Anderson asked Forest today so he could leave the club. And then Fabrizio Romano comes back again because, of course, Fabrizio Romano is one that would always give us more than we can handle sometimes. He says, pause. He says, Elliot Anderson to Manchester City is a here we go deal in place between the clubs. The fee is up to 130 million euros. Let me repeat that for the people in the back to hear me. The deal for Elliot Anderson is 130 million euros. He continues, he says, of course, okay, that's basically what he said in the past. So deal is done. The deal is done. Dave Ornstein has come out and also said this. He says, Elliot Anderson set to do his medical in New York on Friday morning before completing his move from Nottingham Forest to Manchester City. City are working to finish the signing of the 23-year-old midfield prior to the England's game against Panama. That's absolutely brilliant. That is a smart way to do it. You do not want to get this player injured before Panama or at Panama. So get him signed, get him a Manchester City player, and if he gets injured in the World Cup, you deal with it a little bit later. But now let's talk about Manchester City. Let's talk about Manchester City. It is truly remarkable what we are going to be seeing next season. I need you guys to cast your mind to what Manchester City's midfield could look like. A midfield of Rodri, Elliot Anderson, and Ryan flipping Cherki. And then on the bench, you could literally see the likes of Tijani Reinders coming off the bench. It is mind-blowing to even consider. They have talent upon talent upon talent. And they are just adding. And don't get me wrong, you would think that with Pep Guardiola leaving, players would not want to go to Manchester City anymore, because after a big coach leaves, what happens is there's literally a little bit of a downfall. However, Elliot Anderson understands that this is Manchester City. They are ambitious as heck. They are not going to let me sit on the wayside. And they have been pursuing me. Plus, I'm going to absolutely help the team that have kept me playing football and giving me the opportunity to get to a £130 million deal. By the way, this is the break, bro. They just broke. What they call it? They just broke the price tag that was on Alexander Isak for a Premier League footballer. They just broke it. It was broken last time with 125 million to Newcastle from Liverpool. And now Elliot Anderson, a midfielder, has broken it by for City paying up to £130 million as per Fabrizio Romano. It is mind-blowing. Now let's talk about what City are going to be getting in this player. My goodness, is he a talent? Are you talking about him playing the single pivot? in the defensive midfielder role, he can do that. And he's really good at tackling, even without going to the ground. He gets his dues right. When you're talking about carrying the ball, he's very, very comfortable in driving the ball from his 18-yard box to your 18-yard box, still having the composure to pass the ball in the right pace for his striker to put the ball in the back of the net. Are you talking about line breaking passes? He has that in the locker. Are you talking about aerial duels? He is not scared to go trucking with the likes of Nico Schlotterbeck or whatever, the tallest of the tall ones, or even Wembenyama. He is not scared of it whatsoever. And so I need you to understand that they are getting the best of both worlds. And of course, Manchester City, the reason why they did not win in this last Premier League was because they did not have a driving force. Premier League this season showed us the evolving nature of what we knew and what we understood from the Pep Guardiola era to now that Pep was literally leaving at the end of this year. It has become physical. It has become dragging the ball. It has become single performances. It has become someone that needs and has the cojones to take the game by the scruff of the neck. That is what it has become. And that right there is what Manchester City did not have. And guess who had it? Arsenal in Declan Rice. And Manchester City recognized that and said, we are going to get the next Declan Rice. And that leads me to my next point. Elliot Anderson might just have a higher ceiling than Declan Rice. In the next 2 to 3 years, Elliot Anderson might be looked at as a deal, as a steal for £130 million, just like Declan Rice is looked as a steal for £105 million right now. I'm telling you, it is remarkable what Manchester City have been able to do. They are lucky because a midfield of Ryan Cherki with the defensive nows of Rodri and Elliot Anderson is going to be amazing, because Elliot Anderson can chip in with goals. Elliot Anderson can chip in with creativity. Elliot Anderson can chip in with physicality and just pace. It is truly remarkable what we are seeing, and we need to absolutely point it out. Now let's go to Manchester United, because Manchester United are freaking annoying me. But let's be frank, Manchester United could not do anything about this deal this year. Let's be frank with it. Manchester United going in for the number one target of the world when it comes to Premier League football in the midfield role is difficult to do. I understand Manchester United is Manchester United and we are a storied franchise. However, what this situation is that Manchester United have not put ourselves in the position where this deal is even possible at all. Because if Manchester United would have been competing with Arsenal for the title at the end of the season, like we should have, this situation would have been a lot better. It would have been a lot better. We would have had the fighting chance. Because if you look back at what Alex Ferguson was known for, he understood this. You go and you get the best players of the rest of the clubs in the Premier League. But the thing about it was that he always kept Manchester United either first or second throughout his time in the Premier League. And so that was possible. That was possible. He made us a storied franchise. He made us a juggernaut in football. And this is what we need to get back to. Because yes, we have Champions League football. However, we haven't done it multiple times for us to give players confidence that we are ambitious enough to go for that flipping Premier League title. So I know it's very annoying. I know it is stupid that we are in this position, but we only have ourselves to blame. And when I mean ourselves, I mean Manchester United. So now, instead of us looking to the past, looking at the rear view mirror, we need to look forward. What are we going to do forward? We cannot, I repeat, we cannot afford to be caught lacking or fighting or battling with Spurs. For Mateus Fernandes. Mateus Fernandes was our second choice. We cannot be caught dead battling with Mateus Fernandes for Spurs. Who is going to get with Spurs? We cannot be doing that, especially as the noisy neighbours have just gone and paid £130 million for Elliot Anderson. And they are still a better side than us. And they are getting better. So we need to absolutely strap up, lock in, and get this deal done. Start building your midfield and start getting to competing for a Premier League title. So when the next Elliot Anderson comes, when the next Declan Wright comes, there is only one place that they want to go play, and that is Manchester United. But let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the follow button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Elliot Anderson to Manchester City. Is the deal done? I'll see you guys. Say Gobi.